Hello and welcome everyone to Cybercast, the Transformer and Action Figure Podcast Show, episode 315. Today we're joined with Chris, Dalton, and Rick. I'll let everyone introduce themselves. Rick, where can people find you, man?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Shatrdglassjazz.
Dalton?
I'm Dalton. You can find me everywhere at Daltonian95 and on Twitch as DaltWolf95.
And Chris?
I don't really do social media that much anymore, but if you were to find me, I'm on Twitter as Barrett Prime.
And you can find me, G1Xtron, at Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. So, starting off, first we got Toy Mafia and Blitzwing 5000. My boy Bill joining us. What is your figure of the week, Rick? Or the 2 weeks, I guess you say.
I got two things. One thing is in package. So after that Flash trailer, I decided to complete my Hot Toys Batman collection, and I sucked it up and got the
oh, you done it.
The Batman Returns 2-pack that I skipped years ago. I haven't opened it yet, but it's going up because.
When was it released?
Oh gosh, you remember, Josh? Is it 7 years?
It's been a while because I didn't get the Bruce Wayne. I just got the Batman from the Batman Returns, and he was my first hot toy. So I usually only buy like one hot toy, usually a year. The one for 2024 is huge, which that's the last thing we'll look at today. But I'm very excited. So.
Does anyone ever open up like an old package, say if it's from like 15 or 20 years ago, and just like, the 80s or 90s?
Oh shit, you know there is.
Well, I mean, that's how I am with the VHS tapes, like the weird crinkly plastic cases that they came in.
Yeah,
that smell sticks around forever.
I still have a few things from back like when I first started getting Hot Toys. I have a few things that I still haven't opened for whatever. Sometimes I have two of them, but mostly I'll open up stuff. But every once in a while, I'll open up something that I just been sitting on, and it is a lot of fun. It feels like like mini Christmas or whatever. And then the only other thing I've been messing with the last week or two is MOTU Origin stuff, and I got these guys. I got Tongue Lasher and Frog Monger. So I've been really into these guys, and Frog Monger was a Mattel Creations thing. Tongue Lasher is part of the main line, but they're a lot of fun. And
to tell you something real quick funny, on Christmas Eve we had Christmas here at my house, and then on Christmas Day we went to my middle brother's house, and so he got an explosion from me and my mom of like MOTU figures and like toys and like just Lincoln Logs, just all time, just overload like he's never got before. Yeah, I got him Transformers, Star Wars figure, just like he is overload, like he didn't know what to do, like he just So when we do Christmas Day, the next day, like more stuff was coming, and so he was getting overloaded a little bit there, and it was at the end, and they had all the family come in. There's like 20 people in this house, and it's like wait upstairs, and then my brother, he's been putting together this drum set, like a legit like drum set, because he's a musician and he plays drums,
Oh, nice.
Part for his living too, so he's like, he knows what he's buying and stuff like that, and buys them this high-end drum set that you can get for a kid, and it's a little still big for him, and he's putting this sucker together for like hours and putting all the parts together, and then gets it down in the living room, and he's like, all right, buddy, come down, and he throws a fit on top of the stairs, and he's pissed off because he's like, I don't want that, I want a snake.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And he's just throwing a fit for like 15 minutes. And the other little girl around his age, like I guess a cousin, she goes, oh, I'll play with you. And he's like, no, I don't want to play.
I would be banging his head on those drums like the scene out of Ace Ventura.
Oh, he's like, I want a snake. And I'm like, God, if I could have just got him antenna, buzz off. Like he loves those, Jitsu. Like he got these MOTU figures. But I'm like, if there was a snake man, maybe that would have settled it. Like, oh, you got a snake. So he would have loved that. Like some $20 figure. My brother spent a few $100s on this drum set.
Nice.
But I mean, like, he just kind of was like, I guess he's on overload because he's never got so much stuff, and he's just like blown away by it. Toys. But that tongue lasher, it reminds me. I'm like, that could have just been it. Like. So next Christmas, maybe. I start buying it. I start buying at the beginning of the year and like throughout the year buying.
That's what I have to do.
I wish I was
look for deals.
Yeah, I've already got like a box and a half of stuff. But
since Xander, he kept on just wanting all the low end vehicles. like it was like,
he wants
dude.
Everything, but he gets that from me. So karma.
All right, Dalton. What is your figure of the week?
All right, so my figure of the week is going to be the Legacy Leo Prime, and it is far and away better than the MP. Like, just build quality. I don't have any paint scuffing off like on the MP. If you want a new Leo Prime, this is the way to go. And one other thing, not really figure of the week type thing, but it was a fun little build. I tried doing it on Twitch, and my phone couldn't handle streaming it, but I built the Lego gift with purchase Toa from Bionicle. So
that's cool.
It's really cool. And then it came with this little guy, Takua, based on how they looked in the old online game. So hoping I do more of that stuff.
All right, Chris, what you got? I see you got a robe. Just
a robe
out in your collection room.
Yeah, I have a brand new robe. So yeah, I'm British. That's my excuse for everything. I have the Toy World Battle Damage version of Devastator. I don't know why I didn't get that when it first came out. That is the best combiner I've ever had, hands down. Like, so many people say, oh, but the build quality, like, it's so sketchy. It is and it isn't. I just thought logically, it's like, right, okay, if joints are breaking and stuff like that, there's got to be a reason. Took out the screws, and the screws are way too small. So if anyone ever does end up picking it up, just replace the screws to just slightly longer screws, and it'll be fine. Okay, disclaimer, like, one of the figures actually broke in half, but I'm really heavy-handed, so but it doesn't affect transformation. It works. It still holds, but yeah, absolutely awesome. Really, really heavy, beefy.
Whenever I picture Chris transforming Transformers, I always imagine like his hands are like replaced. He's like Rumble, like they're just replaced by two mallets.
All drivers.
Just bashing it together. And another fun fact last week, because this is the second. Yeah, you can see him hound in the back. That's the second one I've got. The first one was official. And anyone who owns Hound, there's one of his wheels like tucks into his back and becomes like his ribs, I guess you could call them. That just snapped clean off. But ironically, I bought the KO and it's slightly better build quality than the official, which I find that with a lot of my KOs, like what have I got? Prowl's a KO, Bumblebee's a KO.
You talking about Masterpiece?
Yeah. Wheeljack. Ironhide, Ratchet, what's the name? RC, Sideways. Yeah, a lot of them are KOs. I've just been really lucky.
Okay, so because like we're in the States and you're in UK, do y'all have as many options to buy stuff like we can go to BBTS, we can go to what are they, TF Source or Toy Source, whatever they call
Yeah.
themselves
Yeah.
now, the Chosen
Yeah.
Prime. Like we have like a ton of different options
Mhm.
to where it's always like all the UK people. It seems like KOs are like a lot bigger like over there. I'm sure people buy KO. Like if you look on eBay, the people are all just always trying to unload their KOs or whatever.
Yeah.
But it seems like anytime you go like to any of the collectors, like most of them, because they have so many different options, to where you go to UK or anywhere else in the world, it's like besides Japan, it's like KOs are like that's kind of the go-to.
Yeah, I mean, bloody hell! I picked up Ironhide for like 25 quid. Same as RC. I bought well recently. It was like 50 quid, something like that. And she's just more proportionate in the bust, basically. But yeah, I mean, we got loads of sites. We've got Prime Toys, Kapow Toys, which I don't like.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Didn't they give
TF.
you a free Triptychon though?
No,
I'm
that
mistaken.
was
Omega
what are they
Supreme.
called? Name some sites. It's not BBTS.
Oh, I don't know.
It was
BBTS,
American site.
they're not messing up.
We're in TF source.
Sending you a free $300 something.
I thought it was Kapow Toys.
No, Kapow Toys. No, I never buy from Kapow Toys. They're not my. To say politely, they're not my cup of tea.
I just didn't know if if it was easier access to get KOs there than it was official releases. To where over here,
it's
like
easy to get
we have a ton of
KOs.
ways to get official releases, but the only way to really get KOs is like by maybe a couple websites that I really don't shop from, or eBay mainly.
Mostly, I just get like the KOs from like eBay or something, just because it's free postage. And yeah, they're pretty decent, to be fair. KOs, to be truthful and to be fair, KOs are a lot better in build quality from when they were, say, like 10 years ago when I first getting KOs, because they would just crumble and cack, basically. But yeah, they are good. They've come leaps and bounds. Fair play.
Bill says he bought a KO Wheeljack a while ago and was really surprised by the quality and in some ways better than the original. So
yeah.
All right. Well, my figure of the week is not as extravagant as yours. It was, a cheaper figure, but it is a figure from, I believe it was 1987. I had this figure, or not, I had the vintage one as a child, and I played with the crap out of them. So when they announced this Needle Nose, because I missed out on the Transformer Collector Club version, and I'm glad this version came out, because that Transformer Collector Club one, like, skyrocketed. It was like $300 or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'm not paying that for a deluxe. Hopefully one day Hasbro figures out that they have more than 5 characters to make toys from. So finally getting a Needle Nose. I haven't opened them yet.
He's good.
But, dude, I cannot wait. I love this toy as a kid. I played with them all the time. I took them everywhere. So just because it's whenever Hasbro was doing it. So like it wasn't as breakable as like a Dinobot or something like that was made by originally Takara. It was Hasbro doing their own stuff, and so it was a little bit more bulky toy, and you could just take them on the road and everything with them. So
and the new one's super easy too. I just like, lately the main line just seems to be really easy and fun, and you can just kind of go back and forth like you should. So I think I
do like about the main line. At first, I was like, no, this all has to do with the pricing now. If it was pricing where it used to be, where deluxes were like $12 and then $15, I remember we had this conversation. If deluxes ever go like past 18, everyone was like, I'm out,
Yeah.
And prices like deluxes were like 12 or something like that, and Voyagers were like $20 or $18, and then I think they went 15 and 20 or 20. I think it was 15 and 20 or something like that. Like if they stayed that, I would be like, yeah, give me all my G1 characters. Let me finish this off before I die, to where now they're more expensive, and I'm like, I got to kind of spread my money around. I can't buy full waves of everything anymore. To where it's like, hey, I'm cool with throw a couple of Beast War, a couple of Armada, whatever, a couple of G1, and then I can cherry pick, because I'm spending the same amount of money, but and getting less product.
Yeah.
But it's easier to collect what I want to collect.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe's, not so much. I saw that they Target, they threw just the Lady J on clearance from the Snake Eyes movie.
Yeah.
It went from $22 to like $19.25 or something like that. So huge clearance sale. A whole $2.75.
That's a box of Twinkies right there.
Well, not anymore.
Have you know? I don't know how many Walmarts you go to. I only go to 2 of them really. Unless
I go to 2.
Unless I'm looking for something. If I'm looking for something, I'll find more. But I've noticed that some of the clearance prices aren't quite the same, and I don't know if that has to do with like where it's located or not, and items in the clearance also not the same. I don't know. But I've been finding a few things here. Like they had a Superpowers Batman and Darkseid for $4. I thought that was awesome. And they had I bought a Panther maybe 2 weeks back that was instead of $40. This is the Walmart flocked one. Instead of $40, it was $16. So I bought a second one on that.
Yeah,
that was a good price.
My Walmart's got a the Revelation or the Masterverse, whatever the kind of like Generations
Masterverse, yeah,
for Battle Cat for $15. I'm really tempted to get it.
That's cheap.
Yeah, that's cheap.
Going back to Needle Nose, I hope we get a new Quake instead of the Titan Master one.
Yeah. That was just like that had that. I think that whenever they did that Quake, like a couple of other things, that was just kind of a like someone trying to like, hey, like that was for us the fans, to where that was someone there that was like, I know people want these other characters. They're not going to get them as like their own mold or anything like that, or at this time. So we're doing a little fan service for the hardcore fans that know who these characters are. So,
well, that and to keep the license on the character too, because there's a cycle for the licensing, so they have to put it out somehow.
Yeah, but I mean, still, that I think that's someone like looking out, for us. What they may be working on Play-Doh now. Who knows? So.
Hopefully we'll get the rest of the Double Target Masters. I want Landfill and Quick Mix. Like I'm still happy with the 2014
I like the scoop. I like the scoop.
14 scoop is still pretty good.
Yeah, I remember at the time I was like, dude, this is good. This is a good figure. So, another one that I was going to say that on clearance, Wave 1 of the Dungeons and Dragons figures, dude, they're already down like $8, and they're just still sitting there. Like they didn't even move them to the clearance section at Target. They just left them on the same pegs, and we're just like, yo, $8, come get them.
I haven't bought any Marvel Legends in a while, but I was tempted to buy some Marvel Legends because they were like $8 or $9. I think they were $8, but I felt like that was a pretty good price too.
They were 12 at my place, but like I don't care about any of those Marvel Legends. So
some of them were so cheap. I'm like, this is nuts. But
all right, let's get into our G.I. Joe stuff.
After last time, I feel like I've got so much knowledge coming in for this kind of stuff now.
I think I did something. They have changed this up. Okay, let me screen share. There we go. Dude, technology, man. Like, dude, me and my cat are exactly the same. Like, if one little thing changes, we're just like, oh God, oh Lord. So,
I mean, that's how I am.
like they always keep changing stuff to where they're like, hey, we improved it, and then it's like, dude, you got to take a college course to figure out like this new stuff.
Yeah.
So, anyways, vintage G.I. Joe vehicles we're doing 1990 and 1991. There are 4 tiers. Remember, unlimited budget, so you don't have to worry about room. You don't have to worry about money. It's how bad do you want it? Is it A tier? Gotta have it. It's a must-have. It's the cream of the crop. B tier, you want it, you like it. So just under A. C is you don't mind having it. You know, it's not something you have to have in your collection, but if you didn't have it, you know, no loss. And then D is you absolutely think it's terrible. Just get it out of here. So the first off, Avalanche.
And what's the year on these again? It's
We're gonna do a
90 or 91?
1990 and 91.
Okay, yeah. All right.
God, it feels like a massive downgrade from what we seen last time. What the hell happens?
This one's misleading, you guys. This one, I was out of Joe by this time when I was a kid. I was out at the end of 87. But that's a better picture of it. That's a better angle of it. I got this for my birthday about, I think it was 2 years ago. Brand new, stickered it up and everything. It's probably in my top 10, and I've got a lot. So when I say top, I probably have 60 vehicles. Yeah, no, this vehicle's nice.
I remember the disc launcher.
So it's a tank, but it also, the back part comes off. You can see it there, like that kind of docks in the back of it. See that little shuttle? It just docks and locks into the back of it. So you have that extra. A lot of the Joe vehicles that we looked at last time had this like little drone vehicle or like a little sub vehicle that goes with it. It's got missile launchers in the back. And then it shoots out like mines out of that little part right there. Yeah. So it's very involved. It's got a lot to do, this vehicle. I actually really like it. And in person, it looks, if you look at it at the right angle, it's a nice looking vehicle.
I would give it a B.
It's the size of like the tanks we looked at, like it's probably the size of like a Mauler.
Okay.
It's pretty big.
Decent size then.
Yeah, this one for me, it's like a B+, this vehicle.
I love this. Weapons actually really shoot.
Oh yeah.
Like put that on there because earlier they had all the lasers and like like you're not gonna be able to really shoot anything with this.
Not yet.
Yeah. What do you guys give this? I give it a B.
D.
Sounds like
It looks like one of my slippers.
It's interesting.
There's a great video of this. I don't know if he lives in Canada or where he lives, but there's snow on the ground and he shot a video. I want to say it's Michael Mercy. If you ever wanted to see like this vehicle in action, look up his channel, and he had a really good Avalanche video.
I think I might be subscribed to him actually. I don't know. I need to go through my subscription and see.
It's a super good video.
all right. Now looking at what is this?
It's Overlord's vehicle.
Dictator. Okay.
This one is the
I
equivalent.
can throw this in a D.
Yeah.
This is the equivalent. If anybody bought Serpentor in the air chariot, that's what this is, or Zartan in the skier. That's kind of what this is.
Yeah, that's a hard pass there, Chief.
Yeah, I don't care about it at all.
I give this a C.
Just throw it in a wheelie.
Yeah, I don't need that. Chris, where are you at on it?
Just pure filth. Don't like it.
Yeah, D. The Piranha. I'm just gonna look if they got box art. Look at the box art.
I hear they live in the Amazon.
Yeah. It's like
I've never messed with this one. I've never played with this one. This one's.
See, it's like what we said last time, that if it has teeth and if it has eyes, it goes up in the ranks a little bit. And seeing if it was called Piranha, I think that they just missed out massively. They should have put some like gnarly teeth and some eyes on the front. Then it would have worked.
It would have leveled it up a little bit.
But they're like, no, we're going to call it Piranha and put a snake on it because that makes sense.
I would have put a low B on it. I wouldn't mind have my, hydrofoil and, like a few of these little guys.
Yeah. I
Now-
give it a C.
Now we all know Dakota's gonna take that and put a big fan on the back where those two struts are. So I mean that take it up to an A for me. Put a big old fan on the back.
Okay, we're
Alright.
getting interesting. Okay.
The Rage. I guess we'll go through these.
This one is another one that's kind of involved. It's got a lot going on.
I hated the wheels.
It's
Look,
doing
look
it's
they
doing what
started.
Hasbro. Yeah, it's doing what Hasbro does right now with Transformers.
Yeah.
This is where it all started.
Yeah.
Man, I give it a C. 'cause
Yeah.
Yeah, I give this one. I give the Rage a C.
You know what those wheels look like? Disposable film canisters. It's honestly what it reminds me of. Either that or like something else that reminds me of, like, it's right off the my tongue. I can't remember what it is, but
Yeah,
I mean,
remember-
I would just prefer if they just took the wheels off completely and just made it like a hovercraft. Then it would probably go up like an extra one. But yeah, it's a C.
if this would have just had treads working, well, not working, just like rubber treads,
Yeah.
I would move it up to a B. But God, I remember a friend had this, and I was just like, dude, that is an ugly vehicle.
yeah, it's like a pancake on wheels.
Now, the General.
Nice. Okay.
This was a big boy.
It's a beast.
Yeah, my same friend had this thing, and this thing took up so much room. Like, you just had to throw this thing up against the wall.
So it's like a
Yes.
land aircraft carrier sort of thing.
It's got a ton of parts. Tons
Yeah,
of parts. It's got electronics too.
Yeesh.
Oh my god, all those missiles!
dude, it's nuts. It's like it's a play set, really. It's
Yeah.
a vehicle play set.
Mm.
So
Yeah, and you didn't get a lot of electronics with GI Joe either, so that was kind of a rare situation.
I'd throw it at A, just the play factor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I give it a low A.
Yeah,
I could
a
just
low-
imagine if I was like a
Hobby.
kid and just set it up
I
in
haven't
like
gotten
one
it.
corner.
I could probably make space for it, but I haven't gotten it yet. I've seen it at the toy shows the last few years, and
and also come in with the helicopter.
Oh, the helicopter comes with it.
Yeah,
Upper chopper.
Oh, okay.
and you can extend this. It opens the missile bay, and then you can have them land here, or you can put it back up, put the missile down, and land on top. And then you got a couple of rotating things. You can put guys back here on turrets, and then missiles flying right over their head, which is
I mean, it looks like if you put a big rotor on top of it, it could be an aircraft itself with that canopy.
yeah. The Hammer.
Ooh, it's a good name.
this is one that I still need. This is on my list to pick up this year at Joe Fest.
Oh, that looks
Still
sick.
don't have it.
I like this one even more than like what is it? Like the Vamp and stuff, if I'm thinking correctly.
You know,
The ordinary Jeep.
you know who I think would be the perfect bot to kind of cross over this with? Roadbuster.
Mhm.
Like, that's an easy option, but Hasbro will never go for that. They'll probably do Ironhide or Swindle, which, I mean, Swindle wouldn't be bad either.
I
Yeah.
vote for no crossovers.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I've never been a
they
fan
were
of
good.
crossovers, to be honest.
This one's a B for me. This is on my list to get still.
I'll put it at B too.
Yeah,
Mm.
high B. It's really cool, I think. I have a thing for, like, Humvee type vehicles, so.
Weapons really shoot. There we go.
This is one of my top vehicles coming up.
Oh,
The
that's cool.
Hammerhead, and it's got teeth, so automatically it goes up a point.
Ugh.
It's the exchange. It's all the little extra things
Oh my god, all that green.
Well, you have like the little jet ski thing.
The one man crafts that can kind of come off the side.
Yeah,
top.
like you got one here where these pop off the side, the top pops off, and then these like two side.
It's
missile
basically
looking
like
thing.
an entire squadron in one vehicle.
It was cool.
Yeah, it's like 6 vehicles in one or something like that.
There's the teeth, Chris.
There's the teeth.
Yeah.
And the front of it does look like a hammerhead shack as well. So
yes,
yeah.
I'm going to put that in A. I think that's really cool. I mean,
this one's it's a sick vehicle. This is a really good. I didn't have this one until maybe like 5 years ago. Either I never had it as a kid.
It's like in the last one, like I specified. There's some vehicles that are weird and stupid looking. This is weird and badass looking.
Yeah, it really is. It's a cool vehicle.
I'm going high B. High B.
This is an A for me. This is an A vehicle. I wish I'd had it as a kid, so I would have been like rougher with it. I'm scared to be rough with it now, but like if I had this, this would have been a mud puddle vehicle for me, like as a kid. So
hell yeah.
All right, the VTOL. It's an awesome looking jet.
Yeah, I'm going to give that an A. Just it reminds me of Dirge. Like that's my one thing. So it tickles my brain that way. So yeah, I'm going to give it an A.
I still don't have this one either. This is on my list. I give it a B.
Yeah, I give it a high B.
It's a cool vehicle. It's kind of simple compared to some of the other ones, but I don't mind it. I like that it's a little bit simple.
It deserves a B because it's not trying too hard to like think outside the box. It's just doing exactly what it says on the tin.
I like that.
Yeah,
I love the wings flipping up. Yeah,
I can't put it in the same category as the Night Raven and stuff. So yeah, high B for me. Yeah. It is.
Is that a little drone on the top as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's B.
You like the pets?
I do.
The father and son duo.
What weapons really shoot? Really? Okay. Wasn't expecting that out of this one. That one. The Locust. I had this one. And
no, yeah, I have one of these. This is just it's the same one that the one that was on the General a minute ago. It's the same copter, but just different.
This mini chopper just reminds me of something out of like Spy Kids or something.
Yeah.
That automatically lowers it to a D for me.
I'm gonna go with D.
Like
you already got one on the General.
C.
I mean, just that short rear rotor, you're not going to get much stability out of that.
No, you're risking your life. You're risking your life in this one, for sure. You're already at war, but then you get in this, and it's like, all right, let's go.
It reminds me of people that built those helicopters that were like go-karts,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know exactly what you're
okay, yeah, like Chris and Dalton might not be old enough to remember that. Yeah, but people would have their golf carts, and they would build like swamp fan in the back or a propeller, and then have a propeller up top, and like take off with go-karts, and they would fly like, I don't know, like 10 yards into the sky.
Oh, I know what you're on about. There was one in Howard the Duck film.
Was there?
If we're thinking the same one.
It's like the Louisiana version of MacGyver.
Yeah, I was in Howard the Duck.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, nothing like that. That looks like more.
Well, I'm looking at the one of the side profile at the very bottom there.
Yeah, it was like this right here.
Oh my god, that is so janky.
Dude, don't be flying those things around. It was good that they were doing those in like the 80s, 90s. If you do that now, then they're gonna shoot you down. The $500,000 Sidewinder.
Only if
I
you put
heard
a
about
balloon.
that.
If you put a balloon on it, you're gone.
There's a parody account on Twitter. And it's like student tries to plead with his science teacher that his homework got blown up by a sidewalk. The mobile battle bunker. Dude, I'm just throwing this in.
This is a D for me.
Yeah.
It's even shaped like a D.
So Star Wars did it better with the troop carrier thing.
It was almost like they were like, let's make a green hiss, and then they just ran out of plastic and were like, we'll just throw a seat on top and let's go.
They're like, what can we get out of $5? What can we get out of $4.99?
D for doofy looking.
What do you got, Chris? Where are you putting it?
I'm speechless. I don't think it deserves to even be graded.
And then we have, what is this one even called? Retaliator. I mean, they do get so lame afterwards. I'm putting this at D too because I don't care about it.
Look interesting.
Yeah, I'll give it a C.
I think he held it back here, and when this is a trigger to make the propeller
Yeah,
go.
that's some gimmicks.
Yeah,
I've never owned
I
this
don't
one.
like
With
gimmicks.
the trigger powered rotor blades, I'm having flashbacks to Armada Cyclonus. Just that ring,
Oh,
ring, ring.
I mean, I'll give it a high D. I'll for the gimmick,
Oh, whoa.
and it bends for reasons.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
That's a low C for me.
Dominator.
I don't even know her.
Met a German woman like that once.
Chris, you're bringing up Cards Against Humanity stuff again. Oh, that's still a winner.
I was never crazy about this one. I haven't picked it up.
I'll throw it in B.
I'll give it a C.
Yeah, I'll give it a high B because what was it? TFC introduced me to this vehicle with their Megatron that they're doing, and just after looking it up, it looks really cool. And this is one of Destro's vehicles, isn't it?
Yeah. Iron Grenadiers.
High B. It still serves a dual purpose. So
The rest of these are
Repaint.
repaints for Scout Patrol.
Yeah.
I don't have any of these. These are all back metal redos of previous vehicles.
ooh.
Like lots of back metal. Mucho back metal.
Yeah, D on that one. I'd rather not open a box and there'd be glitter everywhere.
Throw this one at a C.
Yeah, I'll give it a C.
Mm.
They look just realistically
This is the-
speaking. It's
That
not
looks
gonna last
great.
that long.
Oh, Chris, you ought to like this. Shiny chromy.
Yeah, it's shiny. I like.
Yeah. They just I think they took the drone off of the Night Raven and then just back metaled it.
I'll give it a B. It's
Yeah.
not as cool as the Night Raven.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll give it a B.
this one a B because it does look really cool in chrome.
What do you got, Chris? Chris is all like S tier.
Yeah.
Has
Super
triple plus
shiny.
here. Shiny and it go whoosh.
This would if you threw this one down the stairs, it would
Oh,
shatter and
no.
flake into a million pieces, I would imagine.
Ooh.
I'll just imagine a kid throwing it down a sidewalk or something, just scraping all that off. You see a trail of glitter going 15 feet down the driveway.
I'll
I'll-
give the
I'll-
Shark a C.
I'm gonna give this a D. I don't even.
I was gonna say B.
I don't like it. D.
Ooh.
Filthy.
The rest of these, I mean,
God, these are terrible.
yeah. After they got to
What
this year,
happened?
Dude, look, look, just a quick. I mean, nothing really happened with 82, 83. You know, Sky Striker's a huge one there.
That Falcon looks good.
yeah, those were like super solid, like good memory years.
Dude, 84 is Pop
84
Off
was
with Water
amazing.
Moccasin Raptor. And then
Steamer, the whale.
yeah, the well, yeah, man, I forgot about that. 85, the Moray,
The flag, the mauler.
yeah, the Snowcat.
The 90s is just super
Dude,
bad.
86 pops off Night Raven,
Terradrome.
Terradrome, Conquest, Firebat, Havoc, Tomahawk. You got the Thunder Machine. '87 big ones.
The Defiant.
The Mamba, Defiant, Mobile Command Center. The Cobra Wolf I loved. And then I think you saw 88, 89, and then you saw 90. Now here's 91.
It was over at this point.
Yeah. Attack Cruiser.
God, what is that?
Oh no.
It looks like something like Lego would do with their space stuff.
D.
Yeah.
Just remember what was out in the toy aisles at this time. Why do you think they started to change the
Street
colors?
Fighter and stuff.
D2.
It's all about the turtles.
Yeah, Turtles, Action Masters.
Badger. Like none of these vehicles would you ever, like with these colors, go into war with.
Mm-mm.
Easy.
I mean, maybe
This was more about the toy aisle fight than the G.I. Joe fight. They just lost their way a little bit to try to compete with the turtles.
It reminds me of like camouflage. Any of you guys seen Ali G in a house?
No.
You haven't seen right? Okay, homework. When you have a chance, just look. It's the funniest British film you'll ever see in your life.
It's a stupid comedy, right? I don't watch those.
But it's like they have some camouflage, and it's all like multicolored, and it's just it reminds me of that.
Everybody gives that a D.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's your next one, Battle Wagon. Even the names get stupid now. I'm gonna give it a D. I might give this whole entire year a D. Like
I would probably have played with this one because it sort of looks like a monster truck. Like I remember having the Bigfoot toy at that time, and I played with that outside a lot.
Yeah, I think I'd give this one a B. It looks cool.
They all look super deformed too, like they're squished in.
Yep.
Art joins us, says, hello everyone. I forgot there was a show today. Hope everyone is doing good. And I'm sure
we're doing good until we got to 91.
Trash F on everything.
He already knows, and he haven't even seen.
He thought, like, oh, we're on 91. Yeah, it's all D. Brawler, I'm just giving it a D as well.
I give it a C.
I can't be kind to him.
This year overall wasn't good, at least in my opinion.
Ice Saber, I actually had this one. I will give it a C.
I'll give this one a C.
Christopher Kelly Georgia says that Battle Wagon was one of the best toys of my childhood. It was motorized and shot missiles. I played with it a ton. All right.
Yeah, I could see playing with that outside a whole lot. I mean, it looks like I would have played with it outside a lot.
I'll give this one here like a high C. I mean, it's interesting enough. It's low to the ground. I imagine it being fairly speedy.
Yeah, you put a lot of little figures there in the middle. Like I said, all my snow vehicles, I don't get much play out of them, so I play with them in the dirt, living in Texas. So I'm sure it would have looked cooler in the snow.
Yeah, you should have come up here a couple weeks ago with them.
No, man.
9 inches of snow.
Does Texas ever get snow?
We get ice like,
Mm.
like once a year, and then snow maybe one day every like 3 to 5 years.
Wow.
But we get ice, and like we don't have, we don't have the capability of dealing with it. So
That's
Texas. I remember that for years ago.
it's pointless for Texas cities to invest in like
have a
salt
budget.
trucks.
Like just putting a budget aside, it doesn't make any sense
for something that happens like maybe 1 or 2 days out of the year or something.
Until someone creates the weather dominator, and then you got to invest.
Yeah.
You don't want that kryptonite crawling up in Texas. You just don't.
Yeah, it's all about keeping potholes out.
Yeah,
the road. That's what we're more concerned with.
You should give some of that to Louisiana because you're so close.
Dude, we pay for the road on I-20, like for a lot of it going to the casinos, and then it ends there just because our Texas people, they drive to, their casinos.
Yeah.
I mean, they only got this one picture here. I'm just gonna stay consistent. I'm just gonna go D again.
Yeah.
I'll give it a C. Most of these I haven't played with. I don't think I've played with much at all from 91. I just was so far out at that point. I have some figures. I have a bunch of figures from 91, but I don't think I have any
Septic
vehicles.
tank.
Wait, what?
D.
What?
D.
Ew.
Give it a D.
Yeah, that's a D. Like,
This is when
a septic
they started.
tank is
They
what
started
you
doing
do sewage in.
eco warriors, so they were, ecosystem friendly, kind of, or bad,
Trying to
They
get
were
some of
all
that Captain
eco-
Planet money, huh?
Yeah, something like that.
Captain Planet was Toxic Crusaders.
I mean, these are just gliders.
All
They are
the
what they are.
D tier.
And then the propellers where the propeller shot off or whatever, I think it was. And these are all, we've done these before. These are
Yeah, they were put in mail order.
I'll just give it all a D for 91.
Yeah.
Just a quick preview, not going to grade anything, just to look ahead at 92 and 93. Okay. All right, so looking at starting off with some Transformers. I'm sorry, who is this, Dalton?
Apparently, the name is Freezer. I've never heard of this character before.
The well-known Transformer character, Freezer.
So he sounds like he's trying to be a DBZ character.
And it's the Rods of the Beast stuff, right?
Yeah. He looks
so
like
he's a target master ish.
Yeah. He's a battle master for Scourge or Battle Trap.
Christian says, looking back, it's interesting how much nostalgia I have for these early 90s Joes, even though I knew that didn't know how inferior they were to the early years. Being 10, I still ate it up. I mean, that's a lot of it is like, if it's the stuff you collected as a kid, like you didn't really know any better, like, your happiness, your fondness of it with a child, like that makes it better, than what it maybe, actually was. So, I mean, look at Dakota and Dalton, they think Beast Wars is great, even though they, G1 came before and it was like Supreme, so.
Well, it was only a couple of years ago. Dakota was like more interested in how it was packaged. If it had styrofoam, he was like, I gotta have that styrofoam. I gotta have that package.
I mean, if you could just take the
Now
essence of that
packaging
smell.
is paper. I don't know how you can be I like to keep it, mint in sealed box collector nowadays when all the stuff is just like paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And like everything's wrapped in tissue paper with little, biodegradable ties. And I mean, whatever.
Dude, I went to, let's see, which store was this in? This was in, I think, Walmart, where someone had returned a Soundwave in the box, sealed, and it even had the window. This is one that was for whatever, the movie one or whatever, sealed, and it had the window, and I was like, I don't see a figure in there. And I picked it up, shook it, completely empty.
Nice.
Somehow that got through the return center to where they just took the figure out, put tape on the box, returned it, and they actually took it in their hands, scanned it, and gave some of their money back and put it back on the shelf.
Nice.
It's so stupid.
And I also saw there was a slug that was obviously open and it had a tear inside the box. So they didn't even weren't careful with it. And I looked in there and it was, I don't know, some deluxe figure or something like that. It wasn't the Snarl or Sludge or whoever it was. So these companies, they just do not care anymore.
Nope.
Speaking of don't care, look at this. This looks nothing like this. The rendering of the actual character itself.
No, he's a chunky boy.
Dalton, are the heads on all those Studio Series ball joints or a similar ball joint system? Could I take my Jazz head and put it on this figure? I guess is what
I have
wondering.
No idea. I do know that some have bigger ball joints than the others, because I know was it Siege Prowl had a smaller ball joint than the Earthrise Prowl, so I had to do some sanding down in order to get the Siege to fit on Earthrise.
If I can put Jazz's head, any of the movie Jazz head, if I can put that on here, I'll buy one.
Hey,
I did some really good digibashes of this guy's other characters that could have worked as. I've seen one as Nightbeat, Drift.
Yeah, Nightbeat would be hot in this with this car, I think. But Mirage is not. I'm with Josh on this. If it's not Formula One or something a little bit closer, then it's not. It's just not Mirage, but that's fine. I've been through this since 2007. We're used to it.
I mean, we've been through it since before that. I mean, look at Armada with all the different characters in that. They're completely different names.
That's true too.
So I mean, having a character use the same name as another character for a different version of them, it means nothing to me. So
I think it's because I was a day one Transformers, watched the cartoon the day it came out. In that first line, when I went to the store, I had to choose between a Formula One and a Porsche and a Lambo. So when I think about those first cars all together, I think about them as a unit. And when I see a Porsche that's really close to Jazz, that day one, which character am I going to choose on the shelf as a kid? I can't not see Jazz. And I think that's just my life experience. It's not me trying to be difficult or hard. It's just that's Jazz.
Well,
that's Jazz.
Except for the words. It could be a red Ferrari named Mirage that then got renamed to Dino.
It definitely could be worse. Yes, I totally agree.
Dalton hit you with one of the biggest actuallys in 3 years.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good actually. I'll get to that whatever day that was. Yeah, that was good.
Now, speaking of Jazz,
I'm excited for this.
Rick, I'm gonna notify your Walmarts. I'm like, there's a guy. If he goes in there he's gonna be wearing a Batman hat, and if he goes in there and you see little Jazz heads missing, it was
That's
him.
Exactly right.
Well, this is a Target exclusive, so you have to notify Target. But yeah, I'm all in for this Jazz. I like the Bumblebee was actually a nice little surprise.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm
Now,
excited for this one.
Just give us our cube wheeljack.
I have a funny feeling this is going to
Yeah,
be a
they need to do the
galore.
wheeljack. Let's
Look.
just hope that if that team stays together for another year, we'll get that wheeljack. But they just have to keep that same team. So fingers crossed.
Well, it sounds like they've got a lot of stuff planned. So I dig this Jazz. Like even keeping the
anytime,
horse
I'm not
looking chest.
interested in those at all.
anytime they do stuff like that, I like the Cybertron stuff or cartoon related.
Looks
stuff.
better than Siege. Oh God.
Okay, if you took the horns off, he looks like a rock lord.
Yeah, he
He
does. That's all I could think. I was sitting here, I'm like, man, that looks like a rock lord.
That's one of the big problems I'm having with the Maximals of this movie too. Is they're just so drab. Like I get it, they've been on Earth for however many thousands of years. It wears off, fades. It just doesn't look appealing on the shelf. And this is supposedly uses a lot of the same engineering as the Kingdom Rhinox, which was one of the worst figures to come out in 2021.
I just think it's funny. We came from 1991 G.I. Joe vehicles, and then we're having this conversation about the colors of the Beast Wars characters.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been a better transition.
There's too many bright colors on these G.I. Joes, and then we get to the Transformers.
The
Like
Transformers.
they're
They too
boring.
His face looks like a Sentinel from X-Men.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like a really sad metal clown.
There's the Kingdom Rhinox.
Oh, that's King. I thought that was a vintage one.
Vintage one was better than the Kingdom, I think.
Oh.
I still think the best Rhinox to come out was the Thrilling 30. It was big. He was swole. He had rotating chain guns.
Do you think that they'll do like how the movies used to be big, and when they had the movies, Target would have all these repainted figures with like more accurate colors. You know what I'm talking about. Do you think they'll do that for Beast Wars or no?
I don't know. For this is the main line. This isn't even Studio Series.
Yeah.
So this is your mainline $25 Voyager compared to your $35 Voyager that we'll get later.
Look at the curves and covering up the panels that they did in this one. As bad as you said this one is, Dalton.
Yeah, it's a really good looking Rhino.
And then you look at this picture, you see all this, and this is I just see a square, like trunk.
Right on the
front, little
spiky
thing on the underbelly.
Oh my goodness! Look at this.
Looks like an angry face.
What were you saying, Chris?
What's that thing in the middle?
What thing?
I can't find it. No, like down. Yeah.
You know what that is.
Yeah, you know what it is.
I mean,
come on, Chris. You UK people are always trying to be funny, man.
Well,
You know
it's two things it could be. It could be a nutter, could be a teat. I don't know how you can milk a rhino, but
carefully.
Yeah,
it's not recommended.
God, that just. I regret saying that I wanted to get the.
Hey, Dalton, have you heard story?
He even stands up like he's about to go into combine mode. Like that's the foot, starting the foot.
Yeah.
Do we know story-wise? I'm assuming just based on the toys, because I've only seen that little trailer. They're not really supposed to be in disguise, like the brand is all about, right? They're not trying to be actual animals.
Well, I think they are because you could see like patches of fur, so maybe they did have like a skin on them.
Gotcha.
But over the years, it's just kind of deteriorated.
I'm still waiting on what they say is the Great War of China or something to do with a Mayan temple was going to be a massive transformer. Rogan Nation was talking about it like a year ago.
What?
But
I
yeah,
didn't
so
hear
they're
about
doing a
that.
big boy. So who it's going to be, who knows?
What
I heard there was like supposed to be a commander class Stratosphere, but
Don't know.
that's
Dude, that
the
sounds
plane
like
we
a
saw in the trailer.
boring transformer. Can you imagine as a kid, like, hey, little son, do you want this Grimlock or Snarl or any Autobots to turn into like a T-Rex, and then to an awesome robot with sword and gun and stuff? Or here's this big robot, he turns into a wall.
Yeah.
I got a joke for after the show because I'm not getting into
Well, I say
that
a
kind of
wall.
stuff.
It's on one of the film locations. It's either a wall or it was like an old city.
It reminds
so-
me of the movie Big. Whenever they bring in, like, here's this transformer, he turns into a skyscraper and a robot, and then Tom Hanks
I
is
don't
just
get it.
like, that's not fun,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always
Now,
love
what
when
is
they.
fun is a serious series Snarl.
I was gonna say I always love the when we get these weird. So it's a Dinobot, right? We've seen the Dinobots in action. So whenever I see like a ninja pose for like a Dinobot, I'm like, how is that going to work? Like his legs are so far apart, he's about to
And
completely
they
fall.
never did
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah, like
anyway.
I understand the posing, I understand it, but at the same time, like it's a Dinobot.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, Rick, pelvic thrusting Japanese figures.
I'm okay with the pelvic thrust. I think it looks.
I mean,
cool, actually,
they never
but-
do that, but we're always seeing them
Yeah.
pelvic thrusting.
Yeah, when I saw the first pictures for this, I'm like, why is he like a ninja all of a sudden? Why is he Nightbird?
I just can't wait for Swoop now. We just need that leader class Swoop.
Is Snarl out yet? Is he out?
No, this is a stolen sample.
Okay.
Stolen sample.
I mean, it is. It's a factory sample that. Oh, it still looks really good.
Yeah,
All
it
right.
looks good.
Magic Square Toys, a little Chromia. There you go, Chris.
It's not my thing.
Yeah, no.
Look at transforms.
Mm.
Comes with a second face. Ooh, that Nightbird. Is she not talented enough for it? They even gave her a little belly button.
Oh.
This looks like the.
Chris just got put off by that.
This looks like Cybercast, like 2012, 2013.
I was
You know what I'm
thinking.
talking about?
literally
You know,
the same
yeah,
thing.
the thumbnails, the thumbnails.
Yeah.
That was before I was on the show.
So I guess she's wearing like a little bikini. All right. Well,
Is Star Wars Dad going to come after this one now?
all right. And Fans Hobby.
This one's
It's a prototype or
Hydra, right? Or is this one Buster? I can't remember which one is which with the.
Redwing.
isn't it Hydra?
I know
always
it's
get
Dreadwind.
confused. They're always together. So
Yeah, the USA one, it's Dreadwind. And he would have teal instead of red, right?
yeah, but yeah.
Oh, they're going for the more-
That's correct.
Master Force colors.
Those feet. They're just
Those
really
are
plain.
planks.
Yeah, it looks like he's like just sitting on skis. I'm not a big fan of the Fans Hobby stuff. They're just they seem so simple and chunky.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely look a lot better than the monster bots that they put out. Like, just a lot better.
What's that supposed to be?
The Godmaster.
It's his little Godmaster or Power Master
Oh.
plug in there. That's
Nah.
I honestly think it'd be better in like the Hasbro colors. I'm just more attached to that than I am the Master Force colors. The Overlord still looks really good though.
I mean, it looks like they're going deep in the Super God Master Force stuff, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so at least you know somebody's trying. Meanwhile, X-Transbot giving you their, you know, the 20th Protectobot you've seen.
This is only the first time they're doing the Protectobots, isn't it?
Well, I mean, like we've seen other companies like do these like over and over and over again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, is it? Was it Ocular Max that still did putting out theirs, or did they finish theirs?
I would like to see the Protectobots in the Legacy, like they just did with the Stonacons.
I want all the combiners like that. I want like a Commander class Onslaught with the big trailer.
Where I'm confused at is like for the massive success who was the Combiner Wars and like everyone was getting all the combiners. Why haven't they gone into like Masterpiece combiners yet? I know that they only just started doing it now, but like they've got a bit obscure with it with the trains. But you'd think it's like they just go ahead and do it already. It's like I'm waiting on my combiners. We're still waiting on that Galvatron.
Here's what I think.
The economy, it's a weird time. Like the economy is kind of iffy, and you know, the pandemic was kind of threw the world off its axis a little bit. So yeah, we don't know. I wonder what they had planned that kind of got shelved because of those two reasons.
Here's the other thing: is Raiden is something that like it's going to sell in Japan, right? The other ones, you would think like if you came out with a Bruticus, like, you know, it's going to sell. But let's say you release that first figure. Once you release that first figure in a combiner, you have made a commitment that you are releasing the other ones. What if that first one doesn't sell as well as you thought it should sell, right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, you know, you can't just... To me, it shows a lot of bad faith to where if they were just like, didn't sell very well, we ain't doing the rest of them. That's going to piss a lot of fans off. Like you're like, once you say like, here's the first one, then you're already like committed to making the rest of them. And if the sale isn't good, like that's a lot of money lost. That's what I think.
Size wise too, whenever I've only had one. It was a Bruticus that was like the big masterpiece size one. It was one of the early ones. And it just everything, none of the joints could hold the weight of how big it was. And it also it takes up a lot of space. In hindsight, if I had gotten into the combiners at this small Magic Square size in the beginning, I probably would have been all in.
Yeah,
because I think the size is cool because you can collect a lot of Transformers at that size. But if you collect a lot of stuff, like it just eats up your space. Like I'm looking at my Titans. I keep my Titans on the floor, and I built the shelves were built at a certain spot based on Fortress Maximus's height, and I made sure it was 4 inches higher than Fortress Maximus. But I've already got enough Titans to take up an entire wall based on just, you know, what was it, from Metroplex through
Metroplex. Metroplex.
I do have a Hulkbuster hot toy down there, but other than that, it's just Titans, and they take up the whole floor. So I don't know. I like the Stunticons that just came out. Like, I really like them. I back and bought a box. I have a box set of them, too. So I really like them.
Can you keep an eye out for
all agree that this is the worst head that they've come out with so far?
Looks like a zombie.
Agree with that?
Oh, yeah, I saw this week.
What's going on with those lips?
Do you have a stroke or
Yeah.
something?
This is the worst.
He looks like
head that they've
a very
done.
sad, like a little sad army guy. He's very
Oh, they gave
sad
him a
looking.
bum chin.
And I would this complete your main characters so
Yep.
that you can just be like, yo, I'm out?
Yep.
Because I'm pretty sure that Hasbro's going to be out. Because
Yeah,
these did
this
not sell.
completes.
People are finding them broken in the box.
I
As soon
have
as they
any
open
issues.
them,
I bought the ones that are out. I have them all. Now I do have I have a $10, $15, $10 heat gun that I bought on Amazon that I use for everything. So I heated them up, and nothing broke on these. But I use the heat gun on a lot of stuff. G.I. Joe Classified, Valaverse. I use it on everything because I don't want anything to break. It's just part of my routine. But I didn't have any issues with them. But they are like kids, so their proportions are much smaller. So I could see, like, if you didn't heat them up, I could easily see like their wrists or like an elbow or something. Because again, they're kids. They're like teenagers, or some are preteen.
do you know what it reminds me of? It's that meme. That some people are like 1980s AC. Like, hey, I have a bird family living inside of me. Like I'm whatever, like 20 years old. I've never been serviced, and still like I blow like perfect AC units today. Like I have a little dust. Like I no work no more and stuff like that. You could throw it back to a meme to where it was like toys in the 80s, chunk them across the room, no breaks. Just like you could use them as battle axes, which me and my friends did, with our G.I. Joe aircrafts and stuff, and nothing breaks. Today, open box. Oh, you got to get a heat gun and massage it. And some nail
to be
polish.
fair, the G.I. Joe thumbs and crotches, they did break even when I was a kid. I had some broken thumbs, but it wasn't like it is this past, what, year and a half, 2 years? Something's going on. I mean, I guess nobody's going to tell us what's going on, but don't you think it had to do something with like just cost cutting measures with the plastic or something? It can't be a coincidence. It's a lot of different lines breaking, a lot more QC issues. Something's going on. Eventually they're going to have to come clean on what happened.
I think they started looking at NECA and they were like, well, dude, I mean, those people,
they probably
buying
did.
their figures, like they don't care if they break, like they'll just keep buying them. Like, look at this dude, he's got 300 Predators, like he ain't.
McFarlane stuff can break too. I had a figure break. I mean, I've only had one, but it broke, and it broke clean off. And also McFarlane's response to that break was no email back. I emailed twice. Nothing back, no response.
Oh, so, nice.
I know. Yeah.
They're probably looking for your Twitter so they can block you.
Oh, I hope they don't do that.
Dude, NECA will block you.
The only things I've had like really break on me if I've got like figures outside the Transformers was the I'm looking on my shelf, I can't remember who made them. The Batman animated series things. If anyone remembers them.
Yep, got all those. Those will break.
Yeah. Like a lot of like the pegs for like the hands
their little
breaking.
feet. Yeah, they are like real small on them because of the way that they're designed.
I had my first Action Force figure had two broken feet right out of the box. Like all I did was articulate the foot, and they both broke. And I've probably got 50 of them that I've opened because I've troop builded. So it's the first one. As soon as it happened, I hit up Bobby, Valaverse, and then the next week, and I sent an email, protocol. Next week, I had 2 brand new boots, heated up, put the boot on, you're done, brand new, 1 week, and that's the way it should be. And
it should be that they don't break in the first place.
Some some people will defend Hasbro on that because they're a giant company. I'm sorry. They should have people not only to answer the phones, but to be able to replace figures when needed. Look how big that company is. You have to go through a little bit to get your replacements. And sometimes they don't even send you the same figure that you want.
I was gonna say it's something of equal or less value.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
Even for what those pre-orders for their what was it Mattel did with that thing with the wrestlers or whatever, like they buy the or Kickstart or whatever. Basically like the HasLab thing, but it was Mattel creation, I think is what it's called. Like people buying that wrestler set and like this exclusive wrestler or whatever, and then they were like, yeah, we ran out of that wrestling figure. So here's like a different one that like you could pick up in store or something.
Is that did they run out of the Randy Savage? Was it the Macho Man?
Yeah. I think that was it. I mean, I only know like 3 or 4 wrestlers' names, but it was someone popular.
My wife got that for Xander. And I remember telling her, like, hey, the Macho Man hasn't came yet. I hear he's a separate mail piece. You know, he's going to come through the mail separately. Call them and make sure you got it. But she ended up she wasn't going to do it. She's like, no, they'll send it. No. Finally, she called, but he got his. And I told him, I'm like, that thing is going to be pretty rare, dude. Numbers-wise.
Yeah, it is, because they were sending out people, and like, I know Retro, like, got involved with it or whatever, and like as soon as he did, because he had a larger channel, then they started responding to the guy, and like, hey, let's make this right. It's like, yeah, but how, like it, like, and it was like, hey, yeah, we did this and we made this right, but I'm like, yeah, but you didn't initially when he was messaging with you, and then whenever someone else got involved, it was a larger channel that could put you in like a larger audience, put you in a negative light. Now you want to make it right, but how many other people are out there that Retro or larger channels, they can't go to bat for everybody. That's not their job.
I think if you're having QC issues and it's even if it's not widespread, especially if it's widespread, but even if it's not, you need to respond the correct way, man. We're spending so much money with these companies. They need to respect the customers. And look, I'm sure there's always somebody trying to buck the system and get free stuff. There is. There's somebody that messes it up for everybody. But in the scheme of things, like, it seems like quality control has been an issue, a bigger issue lately. What about, hey, Dalton, did they ever say what's causing the white plastic to yellow within like 2 years or 6 months?
I have no idea. I don't think they ever addressed what it was.
They never addressed.
They are looking into getting it fixed or getting the issue resolved.
So I guess we don't know what's going to be turning yellow on a lot of the stuff we've been buying. It's not just white plastic either. It's other colors, right?
It's gray plastic as well, because it's happening with Motormaster and the Earthrise Netflix Soundwave.
So you tell me there's no way there's a coincidence if we've got yellowing plastic within like 6 months to a year, 2 years, whatever it is, and then we've also got a lot more breakages that are being reported. It used to be like 1 or 2, but now you see it everywhere. And then once somebody reports it, someone else is like, oh yeah, you see 10 more comments. Mine just did the same thing in all these pictures. So anyway, I'm sure the percentage is much, because I think a lot of people blow stuff out of the water. I'm sure the percentage is fairly low on a lot of it. And we just are seeing, pictures on Instagram. Social media can inflate the numbers. I totally get that. But the yellowing plastic and stuff seems to be a real thing. And I think the breakages through Hasbro is a real thing. I just don't know. I wonder what's causing it.
Funko trying to bring back Overwatch in 3 3/4 inch. I'm not going down this road again.
Who is it?
Funko. I mean, I don't buy anything Funko anyway, and I don't do 3 3/4 inch. But there are way too many heroes. Hasbro didn't finish Figure Arts. I guess they're done. I have no idea. But like I hate that Hasbro didn't finish, and that they did like weird skins too. Like just give me the base skins, like to come out. The thing is, they tried to mix it, with like here's base skins and here's some unique skins and stuff. Oh, this is SH Figure Arts.
I'm kind of nervous to watch this movie.
A
I've
coworker
seen a
saw
lot
it.
of mixed reviews.
Yeah, he said it wasn't that great. That they didn't really world build. They were just like, all right, here's this new world. And you're like, how did we get here? Explain. I was like, no, you're just supposed to know what's there.
Yeah, isn't it mostly like this is the one that Kang? I know Kang is in Loki a little bit, but this is like the real, like Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah,
from
this
the
is Kang the
comics.
Conqueror.
I feel like I need to see it just because they're bringing him. He's the next big bad that everybody's going to have to team up and face eventually. I want to see his intro.
Well, that and then isn't MODOK in it too?
Yeah, and it. I've only seen what it looks like in trailers, and it looks so
How
bad.
do you do MODOK? Like, here's my thing: if I was Kevin Feige, and someone said, "Hey, we're going to do MODOK," I would just come up say no. I'd say no, you won't. Don't do MODOK. You don't need to do MODOK.
Yeah.
You know, in the scheme of things, how important is it to put him in there? Is he worth a misstep?
It would probably be like a comic relief thing or something.
Well,
I just wouldn't do it.
I saw the casting. We've already seen this character before, so
yeah, I'm sure. I would just skip stuff like that.
Spawn doing 3 3/4 inch. Have they done that? Has he done that before?
He used to do these little monster sets long time ago in the early days. He would do because I had like a Dracula and a Frankenstein set, and he would come with like the whole lab and these itty bitty figures. I don't know if they were 3 inches or not, but maybe they were 2.5. He's done different scales, but I don't know if he's done the 3 3/4.
This looks like this is basically to sell the comic.
But that's the page. Yeah. It's like the page punchers that he's doing with DC, right? The small ones, because small ones and big ones for the DC.
That's a cool. I mean, the covers are awesome looking.
I get all these. I get all the Spawn books. There's 4 of them.
I like that one.
They're still good. Like monthly. I love getting into the Spawn. It's not complicated. It's usually just badass and lots of. If you like guns and a little bit of horror, like if you like the West, like I love the Gunslinger Spawn. He's my favorite. And it's not complicated, which is what I like the most about it. You can pick it up and read it, and it's cool.
Huh?
Yeah, he's got the retros, the 66.
Yeah.
About
King Tut. Yeah. Here's my thing, Josh. It's been what? He's been doing these for at least 2 years, right?
Yeah.
At least. Have you seen Yvonne Craig in this lineup yet? The first one I would have done. I have not seen the Batgirl figure. So, what's he saving that for? I mean,
she's passed now.
I mean, they've done every other character, I feel like. I mean, they've done Egghead, King Tut. They've done all of the weirder.
Like, why would you do Egghead and King Tut before you do Batgirl? Like that?
It's weird.
Or even the Disco Batman or whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
Is that what this is, or? I just don't understand.
I think it's from like the flashing lights. He's at a disco or whatever you want to call it, and the lights when it comes on him, he's kind of bluish, kind of purple. If I remember correctly, it's been a while since I watched 66 Batman.
There might have been an episode where they were just tripping on acid, and they're like, "Let's do that. Let's just do that episode. Let's do all the figures in that deco."
It just reminds me more of that scene of, was it Spider-Man 2, where he's washing his suit and it just dyes off his socks and everything.
Oh yeah.
They never Did they do Two-Face in the '60s series?
I was trying to remember. I don't know.
I don't remember him.
I don't
remember
remember
they did it
watching an episode.
for the animated version, or
They
recently.
must have. I mean, they must have, but I don't remember it. I thought I had seen them all.
I don't remember a Two-Face back then. Yeah, I mean, like he even here on here, you're like, yo, there she is. You know, Yvonne Craig right there in the middle, right in front of the Batmobile. No character though.
It's crazy.
They are giving you vehicles again.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like that they do the vehicles. I think that's awesome. I know they're undersized for the figures a little bit by just a little, but it's still cool that he does the layers too. He does like the bad guys layer, the good guys. I like that you can have like all your little dios. Yeah, this is another one. Like if I was a kid, I'd be, playing with these like at the river or wherever. I would make sure I had like that boat for sure.
See, I was too poor to go to the river. I just brought it to my bath.
Oh yeah, I had Star Wars toys for the bath too.
Yeah. Everything came in the bath when I was little.
Yeah, I had Universal Monsters, Creature from the Black Lagoon. He lived there. That was my swamp. My lagoon. Yeah, it's cool. I like the dios and stuff that they do. It's fun.
Let's see. All right, and his multiverse stuff.
This one you had to get on his website, the little kid version of Dick Grayson.
So the website exclusive.
Yeah, this was the McFarlane.com or whatever. About a week or two ago. It's fun. I mean, it seems like when I order something off of his site, which isn't, it's only when he does the exclusives. They always get here pretty fast, and I don't know, knock on wood, it's pretty good. I buy his gun packs off of his website. He offers the guns because he can't sell them through DC. So I have multiple gun packs.
I can't get behind this scale.
I like this movie, but I'm not getting. I buy a lot of his stuff, but I'm not buying these. Like I had the Hot Toys stuff, and I don't feel like I need another scale of it right now. I like the movie, but now if he did '89 stuff that we never really got, like Joker's gang and Vicky Vale and like all that stuff, I will do that. I will buy that forever. I'll buy it, but
yeah, we need Bobby. He's the #1 guy.
Exactly.
Just forget about Knox, though.
Yeah, I want Lieutenant Eckhart or whatever. I want like a little figure for him too. I would buy all of them.
Yeah, I could do without Knox though.
I mean, I like him in the movie. They're all crucial.
And then your build.
Oh.
I mean, I buy some of his mega figures.
Yeah, like the comic book version of Bane is killer. I just don't.
I got that one, Rod, and then I just got Mongol.
Mongol's awesome too, especially if you have any Superman figures. Like even the Icon Superman, you could put that next to Mongol, and you're still good to go.
That's why I got them to like.
Yeah.
I just use the mega figures. I got the Calabac on pre-order. It just builds up my Icons. Line. That's all it's for.
I bet other people are doing that too. If you have them,
Why not?
Now, do you get deep like this?
I used to, like, the first year I was buying a lot of stuff, but then I started cherry picking more because there's just so much stuff coming out. Like, I got the Dick Grayson because he's my favorite character.
Yeah.
So I will get a Dick Grayson kid version, but I probably won't get like Impulse or. I really pick and choose. Usually, if it's Bat Family related, I'm heavy on the Bat Family stuff. But I don't buy all the different Batman. It just depends if I read the comic and I like the comic.
Project Superman? I'm not familiar with that one.
That's Flashpoint.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just started to do Flashpoint. He just did Flashpoint Aquaman not too long ago.
The Cyborg is. You'd kind of want it just to get the Cyborg. Wonder if he'll release the Cyborg just by himself.
Sometimes they will, or he'll put them like in a box set. Sometimes too, it just depends.
Well, and then the icons, you already have one too, so.
He's still too like muscular considering for what
I
he's supposed
agree.
to represent.
Yeah, like he should be a lot more emaciated or whatever. Like just kind of,
Ronnie.
he is. Yeah, like that's almost like he just hit the sun and he's he's Hogan up, or what did he call it? Hulking up.
Hulking
They
up.
call it hulking up. He's just starting to get the sun rays on him, but it's not when they found him though, because he was like almost like a zombie looking.
Yeah.
Let's see. Super 7. This to me, this is whenever you know that like it's winding down.
Yeah, they're scraping the bottom of the barrel at this point.
Glow in the dark stuff.
And he, from what I understand, before he got all these licenses, one of the things he was doing a lot for the licenses he did have was glow in the dark. This is his thing. This is a Brian Flynn, is that his name? His bread and butter has been glow in the dark. He likes it. He'll do it for everything.
Soldiers.
Yeah, that's his thing.
Baxter, I think, was the first one. I'm not about the glow in the dark. I'm not about translucent, glow in the dark.
Me neither. Unless it's appropriate. Like if it's a scare glow, I want to see it from across the room glowing,
Yeah.
But
see, I think like if we're talking like Transformer stuff for glow in the dark, Toxitron, like some of the spots of like toxic stuff oozing out of them, just have that glow in the dark, not the whole thing. Like paint apps or maybe one or two parts, but not the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
And my poor boy.
Ugh.
He got the treatment too.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good figure too, not the glow in the dark one, but just the regular one. It's such a good looking figure.
He
didn't make the list though. He didn't make my list.
You don't know about Slash?
This is like brand new to me.
Dude, the coolest turtle, dude. When I had the vintage turtles, dude, Slash was my favorite, dude. I loved him.
It was really cool.
I'm assuming he's one of the brothers, or
no. Let's see. Where did they find him?
It was really cool in the 2012 version, the Nickelodeon one.
I love the Nick Turtles. My God, it's such a good series.
Mm-hmm. Pretty dark too.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're on to the Hot Toys. The main event is the next tab, but here's a little Ant-Man stuff.
Seen a bunch of memes about this movie about how it's like Spy Kids and Shark Boy and Lava Girl with the colors of the suit and MODOK.
Art said, wasn't Slash Rocksteady's pet turtle? That sounds right.
Well, then they changed the rafts in Nick Turtles.
God, I wish I could watch. I've gotten spoiled. Like, all right, so if it's like a Top Gun movie, even Spider-Man, I want to see it at the theater. this one, I want to go in the other room and watch this like the day it comes out. I don't want to have to go to the theater for everything. I mean, I get it. I know it's quantum realm and trippy 3D or whatever. I mean, I get it, but I want to watch this one in the other room. I don't need to go to the theater for this one. You know?
Yeah. I'll wait for it to hit Disney Plus.
I mean, they would have a much better chance of me putting up $20 just in the other room. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm waiting until it's free.
Plus, when I go to the movies, I'm always paying for 3, right? So I don't, even if they were like it's 30, I'll watch it in the other room for 30. I still save $50 at least.
I mean, Josh, if you don't want to watch it for free, just
Well, I mean,
yeah.
I'm a stickler for like watching it like a quality version.
Dude, because like we watch, Maverick, in theater, like I said, like when Tom came out, was like, look, we had this movie ready, but it needed to be experienced in the theater, which was an excellent decision.
Yeah.
And then I come home, to watch it, and I have got, my theater set up in here in the collection room. Dude, I'd have to turn my subwoofer like almost all the way down because it just starts shaking all these deep tops, like, and it's often with the music, with the jets, just
dude, it's the best sound quality that I've heard in my home theater. Is that Top Gun movie? I don't know if Tom is responsible for it, but he has my utmost respect. Whenever I want to check the system and make sure everything is working right, I put on that movie in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah,
because it's right off the bat, the sound quality is incredible.
Me and my dad were talking about this because my dad was a musician, and I'm like, it's like the audio, the mixing, as far as the audio mixing. Like I was like, Top Gun Maverick, top notch. Like you put it at the level that you think that it needs to be at, and then you just let it play. I'm like, me and my dad, we went and saw Blade Runner 2049 or whatever it was in theater, and you even watch it at home. You're like, they're talking, they're having a conversation, so you're like, okay, well, I can barely hear them. Like, I need to put subtitles on. You turn it all the way up, and then music comes out of nowhere and just deafens you, and you got to turn it way down. This happened in the theater to where it was just the music, blam, and then your ears are ringing. I'm actually like, had my fingers in my ears. It was so loud. And then it went to them just talking like a conversation. And I'm like, I can't hear what they're saying. Like the audio mix was so terrible.
Yeah, Top Gun is just. I mean, they had some extra time to make sure it was perfect, and dude, it's perfect. I mean, not just sound quality. Everything about that movie is perfection. But yeah, if you're a movie person, like a home theater person or guru, I challenge, what's a better movie this past few years than Top Gun at watching it at home?
All
Prayers have been answered.
So Rick is all like, honey, we don't have to lock our doors anymore.
I had to change my will. I had to take out the will and take Hex's name off the Batmobile.
Yeah, you're like,
I had him in there.
Hex,
but...
you get to pick something else, because dude, whenever Rick, you've been talking about this, like, hey, I bet they bring it back. I bet they bring it back.
I was confident.
And I was even looking at that other one that you sent me a link to, and I was looking. I was like, $1,500 for that one, man. I'm like,
oh my god.
Yeah, the Jazz Ink thing.
Yeah, the Jazz Ink one.
Yep.
It was $1,500, and I'm like, dude,
it's a lot.
I didn't pull the trigger on it. I was like, you know what? Let's see about if the Hot Toys, if it comes through. Let's see if Rick's prediction. So, hey, there's already a prediction right for the year.
Yep.
Good job, Rick. I'm gonna probably put us back at 1-1 because so far we're 1-0, or at least. Masterpiece.
You could see this one coming. I think my biggest thing that I want that we haven't seen at all.
Michelle
And it makes
Pfeiffer.
no sense. And I'll make a prediction on it, but it won't be this year. It might be next year. We still haven't gotten that Batman Returns Catwoman. And
I need it.
If you
I'll buy it.
think about how big the 1/6 market has been over the last decade. Why have we not gotten that character? Is there a more iconic female that we haven't gotten than that version of Catwoman? I don't think so.
Now,
So-
I forget what was this, like $750 or something. Like after tax and shipping, you're going to be $1,000 basically.
Yeah. It's a big box. I mean, when I say big, it's not as big as a doorway, but it's almost there.
Snake Mountain and Castle Grayskull have got to go. Not just to really to fund this thing, but like their spot, like it, something's coming to replace it now. So I couldn't pass on this, you know.
I mean,
I
yeah,
unfortunately have to pass on it.
I've thought about getting a second one just to keep for a few more years and unload it, but space wise, like, man, it's so big, like it's out of control big.
Xander wants one, man.
I'm sure. Wouldn't surprise me. I love that they're doing the 2.0 on the Batman too. Love that.
No, it's included with the Batmobile.
No, of course not.
Yeah, David Lunshine says like he pre-ordered with the Keaton 2.0. Well, I got my Batman Returns. I'm good with him. And that's what I like the most too. So
I want that diode, that
like
diode that they
them.
showed a while back with the Bat computers and stuff. I want that. I hope they show that like in the next few months. I hope they show that.
Have they did
Well,
a
with the new
Alfred?
Flash coming out, are you gonna like get, because it's showing like 5 or 6 different bat suits, you're gonna be going
It's gonna
into
be-
them as well?
I'm scared to death of what they're going to show.
Are you
Yes.
scared to death for yourself or for your wallet?
Both. Like I'm scared. I wonder how deep they'll go. Because see, I'd rather them do a few from the new movie, but I really want that Catwoman and the Penguin from Batman Returns. I want them to keep. I saw this and I'm like, hope is alive. They might go back to Batman Returns and do it. Because the new suit is almost like an upgraded version of the Returns suit. This one is very different. Even the symbol on the original, the 89 one, is different.
yeah, then the
They
Returns,
tampered
yeah,
with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it is the little, like it just comes all the way down there. Like
Yeah,
these
it's
little
much
extra
more of
things
like
that
a
take 'em out.
classic look. You can tell like they mess with it. In the
Yeah, it doesn't have the weird like
They're-
little legs sticking off of it.
Yeah. But it's so cool that they're doing the 2.0. I mean, I figured they would, but it's time. Over time, like I don't live like in a place where things get like super dry, and like I've heard from other people that live in Arizona that if you collect hot toys and you live in Arizona, you got to really take care of them when they dry out. I haven't had that issue here, knock on wood, but it was time for them to do another Keaton.
With that gargoyle there, are they trying to tease another Joker?
I think they'll do Joker, but on the aftermarket, these figures are crazy, and people still pay it because people, just like Transformers or GI Joe, people are always getting into a brand. So Hot Toys, some people are, discovering that now, and this stuff came out, years ago. So the aftermarket on Hot Toys sometimes is insane.
David said that Batman is coming with a Vicky Vale shoe, so Joker's coming.
Cool. I want Vicky.
Watch him have the like bloodied up face, the chattering teeth,
Yeah.
a little laughing bag.
I'm ready. I'm ready for 1989 right now. We can
Dude,
read.
look
It's
at all
so
the
just
cool
go-
that Batman
yeah.
movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like I don't think other than The Dark Knight, I don't think I've seen a better Batman movie.
God, I'm not gonna lie. Like that trailer got me so hyped. I've watched Batman 3 times in the last week, and Batman Returns twice.
Well, I'll just wait for the cut that doesn't have the Flash in it, just all Batman.
I mean, this movie, even though it's called Flash, I feel like Batman is going to be the highlight of at least the first part of this year.
Yeah,
Keaton back. Doesn't matter who you are or what you look like. I
Dude,
haven't met anybody who doesn't like Keaton. I've never met anybody who doesn't like that version of Batman.
Dude,
it's hard to find anything that everybody agrees on anymore.
He is
That's
the
all
live
I'm
action
saying.
Batman.
I mean, they're still, Bruce Willis, apparently his dementia or whatever he's going through, like it's gotten worse. So I mean, it's sad to see some of our actors that like we grew up with, they're getting older and stuff. Harrison Ford, I mean, he's doing Indiana Jones, so see how active he is, but still doing that, and Star Wars, not too long ago. Dude, Michael Keaton still, he was Vulture, not too long ago, and then coming back for Batman, being one of our older guys, one of the actors that we cherish.
Yeah.
Another one, I don't know if you guys watch this, but Kevin Costner in Yellowstone is
Yes. That show's amazing. Isn't it
Chris,
weird?
You watch Yellowstone? You watch Yellowstone?
Yeah, I've watched a few of them. Yeah,
me too.
You watch it all, dude. Dude, my favorite character. Okay, one of the scariest and greatest created characters, and one that is scariest to me is Beth Dutton. Like, I would not want to be anywhere around her. She will just wreck you. Like that. That like it's like here's Pennywise and all these horror characters,
Jason
like
and Freddy.
Jason and stuff, and then here's Beth Dutton, dude. She will f you up faster than any of them, like all over.
Yeah.
But also
she's a good character.
I love Rip.
They're all good. I mean, there are a lot of good characters on that show. Do you guys think it's weird, or are we just too close to it because we collect toys and pop culture is kind of like, we're into it hardcore? Is it weird that I feel like the people holding up the entertainment world, movies, TV, it's all these people from the 80s, like the mid 80s. It's Maverick, it's Batman, it's Luke Skywalker coming back in The Mandalorian. The only time, and I don't know if I'm just too close to it, or is it really the only thing that people get excited and positive about anymore are these 80s iconic movie heroes? Or are we just too close to it, or is it really?
I mean, we see it with toys, we see it with movies and TV shows. God, what was it? They're coming out with some new TV show, True Lies, or something like that. I'm like,
Really?
Yeah, I mean, they've done these before. Like they came out with a Lethal Weapon a few years ago. They coming out with the True Lies. They all these other ones. They're like, what are 80s properties? Or early 90s properties, and let's do them.
And those are like the exciting moments that we have, like when we see those things. Like I remember watching the season 2 Mandalorian finale, and when they brought back like Luke Jedi proper. And I remember watching, like I was like, I want to see what other people think, and I watched some of the reaction videos, and like grown men were crying. I'm like, good, I'm not alone. This has the whole world excited and positive about something. We could use a lot more of that. So that's one of the reasons I'm so excited about the Batman thing at Keaton is after Top Gun, I'm like, and Luke, I'm like, this is the stuff that's keeping, people excited and positive. Sometimes positivity is just something you need.
Triple barrel reason of why things work so well back in the past, because you've got the originality in the actors, you've got the original storytelling, and you have the directors, and you're watching like a Spielberg movie, like it's a Spielberg movie.
Yeah,
you're watching anything from, for example, we're talking about Michael Keaton.
Yes,
Michael Scorsese. It's like everything has its own thing on it. Versus now, is
Guy Ritchie. I love Guy Ritchie stuff too.
That's another one. Now it's just everyone's just trying to copy each other and just remake after remake and reimagining, and it doesn't work.
So like you got Guy Ritchie, which I love his stuff, and then God, who's the dude? Ryan Johnson, and with all his glass onion stuff. I'm like, all this stuff is predictable and it is terribly done. It's like this dude just watched Clue and Guy Ritchie movies and was like, I'm basing all my stuff off that. To where like I hate his stuff. I hate his Star Wars. I hate his other stuff. To where you could tell like this guy just binge watched Clue and Guy Ritchie movies and then was like, you know what? I think I've got some ideas to write a movie. I'm like, it looks like it's just ripoffs of all that stuff. Like that's the new directors. To where I like the old ones, Scorsese, like you were talking about, Spielberg.
It's interesting. All of it is interesting to me because like the last few years they've even made movies about the idea of giving the fans what they want versus not listening to the fans too much and letting them influence the properties. That whole thing is interesting to me. And when it works, it works. And when it doesn't, it doesn't. But I'm sure like with Top Gun, I don't feel like the fans were really after them to make a sequel to Top Gun that was, not a reboot, but like, let's catch up with Maverick. Oh, he's still got the bike. Oh, he's still doing this. It's still the same character. They didn't mess with it. They didn't really add anything that didn't feel appropriate. So it's interesting to me to see, when they do these things, like with the Luke Jedi or even with Keaton. We don't know exactly. We haven't seen the movie yet. My fingers are crossed that they don't mess that up. But we're really relying on those things, and sometimes listening to the fans is good. I mean, if you think about it, the Ryan Johnson movie, Abrams listened a little bit, but Abrams followed the formula, like Force Awakens. It was very Star Wars formula to the T. And then we got Ryan Johnson, and they gave us what Disney thought that we wanted, the executives maybe. But then you had Filoni and Favreau come in, and I'm sorry, it's
that's
like
what we want. That's what we want right there.
Yeah, they read our minds.
Yep.
I mean, I couldn't have improved it. Like they figured out a way, even like the CGI and all of the things behind the scenes to be able to go back and capture a younger Mark Hamill. They keep getting better. Like when we saw him in the episode of Book of Boba Fett, they've already figured out how to do it better. They keep improving it, and it worked. And it's what we wanted. And people were saying, yes, could we do this? Is it possible? Here's how, It's been done in the expanded universe since like 91 when the Timothy Zahn novels came out. Luke was doing his thing in those books. But I don't know, man. I think sometimes listening to the fans does work.
Yeah.
I'd much rather it be fan-led or a director who's already a fan than to have executives in there just adding things to try to please certain audiences that maybe they don't think they have a lock on.
A lot of the good stuff that's come out, it's like all political free, like it doesn't matter, like what side or whatever you want to be on, like you can watch it and just be like, all I did was just watch a good movie. Like there wasn't anyone trying to make you go one way or the other. It was just you watch it for the enjoyment.
And saying talk about like executives getting interfering with film production. I think that's what happened. With this Rise of the Beast thing, because Travis Knight had an idea, and then this new one coming out, it just changes everything. I think they manipulated the director. I kind of feel bad for the dude because seemed like you want to do something interesting, and then they come and.
Well, we'll have to talk about it after we see that movie. We'll definitely have to discuss because I was a person that liked Bumblebee. I felt like they made it more simplistic. They followed a character. Everybody's been young and had like a beater car and loved music. I mean, anyway, so I really thought that was after seeing what was it, The Last Night, where like the whole world is coming apart and I didn't even know what was coming on. I was literally laughing at it in the theater. It was so bad.
Dakota fell asleep.
And I hate that because Transformers is one of my main brands. I love Transformers, and it's hard to watch that. But Bumblebee came out, they made it simplistic. They gave us that 10-minute what's going on Cybertron, no humans, just robots. I could tell who they were.
I want that movie.
I don't know, man.
The whole thing, though. That's what I want.
Me too. Well, I think everybody does. It was basically the War for Cybertron game. Those 2 games that came out.
Yeah.
If you were a Transformers fan, who didn't love those 2 games? First of all,
they're trying to make the Transformers films so where it's like they're trying to like really emphasize, like, look, there are humans in it. It's like, yeah, I know in G1 like we had Spike and whatever, but it was about Transformers. It's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I don't even need any humans. Turtles. Like the money that you have to pay the actors. Now you don't have any actors. They're just voice actors, and put it all into the budget of.
Yeah, you save millions from doing that, and they don't do it. But then it's this whole thing is like, look at the Suicide Squad. When you've got Will Smith, he didn't want to wear the mask all the time because his face is the money shot. And I think this is a lot of the times when it comes down to it, it's like, okay, so we're paying these voice actors to do them. Rather than, like, for example, look at the Rise of the Beasts, rather than looking at what was the guy who voiced Optimus Primal?
Gary Truck.
Yeah, rather than saying, right, he was the original guy. We got Peter Cullen, so we'll get this guy. No, we'll get someone different.
Yeah,
here's the other thing with a lot of the actors is like you were talking about Will Smith as Deadshot. Is like you're getting hired to play Deadshot because people want to see Deadshot.
Yeah,
they're coming to the theater to see Deadshot. They're not coming to the theaters to see Will Smith. Like I think some of the actors they're they've gotten to their bigger in the head to where they're like, people are coming to see me. Where there might be a little bit like, hey, I like that actor. We were just talking about that, or that director. But when we're really coming, like when I watch Top Gun, I'm watching to see Maverick. I'm not watching to see Tom Cruise. Even though he's the actor that plays, but I'm coming to see Maverick, because like Maverick is completely different than, whatever the dude, Risky Business, Cocktail character, all his different, movies that he's done, from Mission Impossible, like he plays a different character. Like I'm coming to see Maverick from what I remember from the other Top Gun. Like I'm not coming to see Tom Cruise, and like, that's what hey, if you want to come on and you're playing a character that wears a mask all the time, then that's what you're doing. Yeah. And if you're like, well, then I'm not doing the movie, fine. We'll find somebody else then, and probably cheaper.
It's like the guy who plays the Falcon in the MCU. In the interview, he was with the guy who plays Bucky. He said, the thing is, when you're with a massive franchise and you already have this massive backstory of a character, people are not coming to watch me work. They come in because they want to see the character. I'm just completely irrelevant, basically. So, yeah, that's some of the actors are saying that as well.
Off of that, though. You'll build your career off of that.
Yeah.
It's just, I think it's hard to find magic at the movies as often as we did, like Chris was saying, like in the 80s, it was just a lot of ideas and things that we hadn't seen, and now I feel like we've seen a lot, but every once in a while you'll get something that just feels like magic or lightning in the bottle. But right now, I feel like the movie, I know Spielberg came out and said to Tom Cruise personally, you saved the film industry last year whenever it was He said it, and I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
Some people will argue Spider-Man, Top Gun.
Yeah, Top Gun definitely.
I mean, that's a movie that you need to see at the theater, and they knew that, and they didn't slack on anything, and they didn't mess with it.
Held it back.
They didn't shove politics in my throat. Yeah, anyway, but I think I watched the people respond to the Flash trailer and seeing Keaton, people of all ages, like people as young as 11 and people as old as 65. And it didn't matter what each one looked like. They all like lost their stuff when Keaton came on. People that keeping up with the news and didn't know about it, it is fun watching those reactions because it's so positive.
Mhm.
A lot of times we only see negative a lot on social media. I mean, a lot of it is negativity. Chris, it's probably why you stay off of it. There's a lot of negative stuff. I mean, so it's just, I like that there's at least one or two things kind of sprinkled to just feel magical.
I think
that's why we collect toys.
Do,
that's why all of us collect toys. So
what they really need to do is just go back to what works. For example, like movies, going to see a movie. I just remember it was always an emotional roller coaster. You didn't have these horror films who were just balls to the wall, just like scared, jump scare. You get fatigued and you're fed up of seeing it.
I mean, they're coming out with another Scream again.
Yeah, they're beating a dead chicken with that.
This one is predicted to do 35 million, the biggest in the franchise. But I'm a big horror movie person, so I keep up with all that stuff.
Maybe unpopular, but since we're giving part 2s to all these other franchises, didn't do great in the box office, but I really like the movie just because I like the world building of it. Waterworld 2. Give it to me.
Waterworld 2.
That'll be a tough one. That's a tough sell.
It was like box office that didn't do very well, but like it was like the advertising budget was. I remember waiting in line at Six Flags for rides, and they had Waterworld previews or whatever all throughout. Yeah, I've got it on Blu-ray, man. I like it. My mom likes it too.
I still say
she might just like looking at Kevin Costner, like half nude. But
I was a big fan of Tron Legacy, and I still say that the Tron world is there's more to do because we talk about going the movie experience and going to the movies. And I remember that movie, the sound was incredible on that one too. Yeah. And obviously the look of that Tron Legacy, they went from the original 80s Tron, which was it's a fun concept, but technology caught up with how cool the concept was with Legacy.
Yeah.
And we haven't really explored what else could be done in that world. And that's a very 80s property, but I feel like there's places that we could go with that. That would be really cool.
There was supposed to be a third one made, but it just
they had the cartoon, the animated series, and Daft Punk was just some of the decisions that were made with Legacy. I don't know why it just didn't do as well as I thought it was. Like I remember it came out, and I was like, soundtrack, got it. Saw the movie, bought me too. And I know the ride just opened, or it's getting ready to open. I think at Disney World. So it's got. I think we'll see another Tron, but that's one that I wouldn't mind seeing another one of.
That's one of the magic parts.
Get a good script.
That's one of the magic parts about films that are like futuristic in like a dystopia sort of cyberpunk era, because the films are timeless. It's. I mean, you look at the first Blade Runner, it's still, I mean, okay, granted, there's some absolutely amazing lines in there, like, I've seen things you people wouldn't believe, and like Tears Lost in Rain, for example. It's like things like that makes it stand out, but it's more of, like I said, is watching something from the 80s that's set in the future, and still you can watch to this day and think, wow, this is amazing.
Like Running Man.
Yeah, because they're not trying to set it in this time. It's like, right, okay, what's politically correct and what's visually pleasing and storytelling wise, like what is correct for this time? What's up with the times? They're not, as Josh said earlier, they're not trying to be left, they're not trying to be right. It's done for whenever time, whether you watch it in 10, 15, 20, 30 years, it's still pleasing to the eye and to the ear at that moment in time. That's where I think a lot of times where they're going wrong with making these movies is because it's so hell-bent on it needs to sell now. Look at how many films in like the last 20 or 30 years that have come out.
Shawshank Redemption, one of the highest rated movies ever, did terrible at the box office.
Exactly. So
a lot of the things we're seeing though are good things, I think, because I know for a while, we were worried, especially I think after Star Wars stumbled, because I feel like messing up Star Wars is kind of hard to do, and they made some missteps. So I think after that,
Somehow Ryan Johnson did it.
People were definitely a lot more critical of things and looking a little harder at it. But then if you look at the things that have worked versus the failures, the things that are worked are the things that we're talking about, like Top Gun. It worked. And at the end of the day, it's all about money. So we might come to an end of some of these political or aiming things at a new audience or changing the character to meet a new audience. The things that are working and making money right now, the things that are like bulletproof, are things that they're not messing with.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see a change in those things.
One movie that I'm really looking forward to is, I think it's called Air, about Michael Jordan.
It looks great. That trailer looks so
Dude,
fun.
I'm a Michael Jordan fan. Like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, those are like two of my favorites right there. But dude, like I've watched The Last Dance probably 10 times. Like I love it. And as soon as I finish it, I'm like, I could watch that again. Like, it's so good. So
and I think anybody that lived in the late 80s, early 90s is going to want to go see that movie. So my wife saw that trailer the day before I did. And then I was like, hey, have you seen this trailer? She's like, I already saw it. It looks amazing. She's a 90s, kid. I'm more of an 80s kid. But we both were like, I can't wait to go see that. It's not my cup of tea. I mean, it's not like, it's not a superhero movie or an 80s nostalgia trip. But it is because it's so iconic, like the subject matter is iconic. And, I like a movie about the marketing and how to sell a tennis shoe. That's interesting. To me, that's interesting, We've all bought tennis shoes and we've all probably lived through some of that era. So in different parts of it, but because our ages are all
he just turned 60.
It's pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. And those guys can act. I know they both catch hell and they have tons of memes, but those guys can act, man. Yeah. I want to see that.
I forget what all the movies that they advertised that come out. The only one that I remember is Air, because as soon as I saw that, I'm like as soon as they started off with it, to like how they try to tease a little bit going, and then you don't fully understand what the movie is until a few seconds in, just like a couple seconds in, I'm like, this is about Michael Jordan.
Absolutely. And it's the same thing. Even though he's not Batman, but yet he kind of is. Like he's an icon.
Everyone had his poster on their wall. Every kid, from back then to now, is still like Jordan. I want some Jordans. My two brothers, we all at least had one set of Jordans.
Icons. It's the only thing holding the entertainment world up. It's really interesting to me. And that's a good example too, where that's not just catering to, males, because like I said, my wife saw it the day before. The people that they chose, the actors that are in it appealed to her. And then Michael Jordan appeals to everyone, right? I mean, I think.
I'm waiting on the Kobe Bryant one too. They need to do a Kobe Bryant, man. So
I've heard that name before. Who's that?
Kobe Bryant. Second best basketball player ever, after Michael Jordan. So he was a Laker for 20 years. So
he was a what?
A Laker.
I said he was a licker for 20 years. Come on, Windows.
I quit watching basketball after he retired. I was like, I'm done with this now.
Well, then after he passed away, I mean that.
Dude, I was crushed. I mean, this is the only player. I've got 20 of his. Well, about 16 of his jerseys, all these different colors. Kobe Bryant jerseys. I even got his high school jersey. So, I was a huge fan of Kobe Bryant. But I'd like a movie on him. The only other movie that I remember from the Super Bowl was maybe Dungeons and Dragons, but I was just like, I don't care.
Yeah, it's unless it was the cartoon kids, the characters from the cartoon, I'm not really interested.
I'm like, they're gonna mess this up. I've already seen what you've done with G.I. Joe. So someone had, I think it was Bill Blitzwing 5000 was telling me earlier this week. He was like, You know what? I just saw Battleship for the first time. He goes, wasn't terrible. He goes, I know, like everyone was like, dude, it's so terrible. He goes, I watched it. I'm like,
I thought it was
like,
okay.
He goes,
I watched it.
It wasn't bad. He was like, this is based on a board game of you calling out B6. Like what did you expect him to do with it? Like,
yeah. I remember watching it. I was like, that was all right.
Yeah.
It was all right, but it was still dumb.
I mean, it's a board game where you're sitting across from each other and you're like, B6 miss. C12. Oh, you got me. You know, like, that's what the movie's based off. There's not a whole lot to go off there.
Yeah.
Just the whole aliens thing is what just threw me off with it.
Well, I mean, like, what else are you gonna do with it, though? You know, I mean, there's worse games to try to make it. Like, what if someone was just like, hey,
Sorry.
Like,
let's make Sorry a game or a movie.
Double Trouble or something like that. Yeah, or Sorry.
Well, they're trying to do Tetris, isn't they, as a movie?
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm not gonna watch that.
It's the same thing.
Like, are they gonna include the murders?
It's still the same thing, though. Now we've just moved from Batman to Michael Jordan to a Game Boy game that I was playing in study hall in 1990. Yeah. So anyway, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Everything hinges on 84 to 94. Those 10 years are holding up our entire entertainment, everything. Yeah. Everything.
And our actors from that time, like even Sylvester Stallone, he's got that show Tulsa King. I don't know if you've seen that.
That was so good.
I haven't watched it yet. Is it worth watching?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Taylor Sheridan that does Yellowstone, series.
Right. So where's it on?
It's a Paramount thing or whatever. Let's see. God, what was the like they're coming out with a Creed 3. I mean, that originated from Rocky. Like I'm gonna watch that just because I've
just
watched
another
all the
example.
Rockies and I've watched the Creed. Example. Like all you are is a continuation of Rocky. And I know exactly what the movie's gonna be because every Rocky movie is kind of the same layout. Yeah. So, but I'm gonna watch it and I watched the other Creed movies because I'm like, it's part of that continuation. Yeah. And
David in the chat's talking about that War Duke D&D figure. Yeah, I saw that. It does look awesome. I'm trying not to buy it, but War Duke was featured on the cartoon in one episode.
Oh, he also says I was excited for that D&D movie. Was.
Yeah.
I think there's only 2 movies I'm looking forward to this year, and that's the Mario movie and Res of the Beast.
I am interested in the Mario movie. I don't know if the nephew, like the other one, he's only like 3 months old, so he's not going. The other one is going to be 3 in like June, July, one of those months. I don't know. He is a lot, so I don't know if he's old enough to be taken to a movie without trying to run up and down the theater. I don't know about that.
I love the marketing campaign they're doing, especially right now with that trailer around the Super Bowl with them actually doing a commercial with the theme to the 90s cartoon.
Yeah, I thought that was fun. I don't know how many people do that, but I think if you were at a 90s, when is that? Late 80s, early 90s?
Yeah, 90s, I think. With
it had the Legend of Zelda cartoon as part of that block. I remember that.
Well, no, I'm talking about the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Yeah, I am too. But Legend of Zelda was that was all part of the same.
Okay, so now I'm thinking of the one that had Donkey Kong in it. With Peter Cullen as Mario.
Yeah, that's a different.
Yeah. When is this Transformer movie come out?
June 8th. It's the same week as Spider-Man.
The week. It's the week before the Flash movie or
the
Batman movie.
Dude, it's gonna get buried.
Yeah,
it's coming out with Spider-Man, Flash, and what else?
I think Indiana Jones. It comes out that same weekend.
Dude, the Transformer movie is gonna bomb. Yeah. It's not like if you ask me like, hey, what do you want to go see? A Transformer movie, which like Bumblebee was the last one, it was good, but like look at the reputation of the other ones, and it looks like it's going to go in that state. Plus, it's Beast Wars, as well. Or do you want to go see Indiana Jones? Do you want to go see Flash movie? Do you want to go see I forget what else you said, Spider-Man? Like, dude, like Transformers is like way back there.
Yeah, picking your month to be released, it needs to be real. I mean, I feel like that's a giant strategy. It could be the most important strategy if you're a Transformers film.
They should have pushed back or came out early.
Man, give it a chance. Look at like Scream came out. So last year, Scream came out the first 2 weeks in January. They turned around and made another one as quickly as they could, and it's coming out in March. There's nothing really coming out around it. That's why they're projecting $35 million for this movie.
Well, they got a monopoly. There's no competition around that.
There's no competition. There's no horror movies out. It's a big franchise. Neve Campbell's not even in it. But they got Ortega. She's a main character now. She just came off of Wednesday and made a ton of money from Netflix. So that movie's going to do, Scream's going to do really well. And it's all about picking the right month. And Transformers, that is a horrible month.
Yeah.
They're still thinking it's
every
2007.
Time I see that stuff, every time I hear this stuff, I'm like I have this job and where I make this certain amount of money, and I'm like, there's people that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars to make these decisions, and like here we are just sitting in front of our computer being like, there are better decisions that could be made,
There's no way I would put that Transformers movie up. Transformers would have been better in either March, maybe April,
or 2022 when it was supposed to come out.
I know it's historically, that's the summer months of the movie. Haven't we kind of turned the world upside down, though? The world's been shifting. Summertime isn't just the blockbuster. You can have a successful movie now. You don't have to be June and July anymore. I just feel like they're using an old model, but to be fair, Hasbro uses old. They lock themselves on.
They live on old models.
David asked if the G1 animated movie is still in the works. I don't know about that.
I think it is.
Yeah, I remember hearing. What was that? 2 years ago they announced that.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out next year.
Something came up. I think it was like a couple of months ago. But yeah, they were definitely going for a full-on animated movie. That was just solely based on Cybertron and them in Cybertron.
I'll see that. Yeah,
that's what I'm looking forward to.
I'm rewatching G1, right? Cartoon series. Currently, I'm on Nightbird season 2. So, gonna try to make my full push all the way through, G1, and then do my Japanese series, all the way through. It'll take a while. So. Well, guys, we've been on for a while. We had a nice little discussion at the end. We haven't had one of those in a long time, but I think people liked it. So, let's go ahead and sign out. Probably be back, 2 weeks again, Saturday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Unless if something comes up, I'll try to let you guys know. I know 1 week I didn't let you know. I went to sleep. I was tired. I woke up and it was like 9 p.m. or something like that. So, Rick, where can people find you, man?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram as Shatrdglassjazz.
Dalton.
I'm Dalton. You can find me everywhere at Daltonian95 or on Twitch as Dalton95.
You can find me at Barrett Prime on Twitter. I probably won't be on there much, but yeah.
Message him. He'll get back to you right away.
Yeah.
So. All right, and you can find me at G1Xtron on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Bye.
Peace.